Have you ever heard the term debt ceiling pop up in US political debates and wondered what exactly is it and why does America keep hitting it? Let's break it down. The debt ceiling is essentially a legal cap set by Congress on the total amount of money that the US government is allowed to borrow. Think of it like a credit card limit. Once you hit it, you can't borrow more unless that limit is raised. Borrowing is necessary because the US government often spends more than it collects in taxes, covering the gap by issuing treasury bonds and other forms of debt. The idea of a debt ceiling dates back to 1917, during World War I, when Congress wanted to simplify the process of funding the war while still keeping control over total borrowing. Since then, the ceiling has been raised or suspended dozens of times, in fact, over 100 times in the last century under both Republican and Democratic administrations. So why is it such a big deal today? Every time the ceiling is reached, Congress must pass a law to raise or suspend it. This process often becomes a political standoff, with parties using it as leverage to push for budget changes or spending cuts. If lawmakers can't agree in time, the US risks defaulting, meaning it would fail to pay its bills, including interest on its debt. A default would be catastrophic. Financial markets could panic, interest rates could spike, the dollar could weaken, and global confidence in the US economy could be shaken. Since US Treasury bonds are considered one of the safest investments in the world, a default could ripple through the entire global financial system. We saw this play out in 2011, when a fierce political battle over raising the debt ceiling brought the US within days of default. Even though an agreement was reached at the last minute, credit rating agency Standard & Poor's downgraded the US credit rating for the first time in history, citing political instability. Most recently, in 2023, the US again faced a high-stakes debt ceiling fight. Negotiations went down to the wire, with heated debates over spending cuts and budget priorities. A deal was finally struck, suspending the limit temporarily, but the issue is expected to return in the near future. Critics argue that the debt ceiling is outdated and causes unnecessary financial risk, since Congress has already approved the spending that leads to the debt. Supporters, however, say it's a vital tool for forcing fiscal discipline and confronting America's growing national debt, which now exceeds $30 trillion. The takeaway? The debt ceiling is more than just a number. It's a recurring flashpoint where politics, economics, and global finance collide. Understanding it helps make sense of why a single congressional deadline can shake markets around the world. If you found this explanation helpful, hit like and subscribe to Ecoverse News for more clear, fact-based breakdowns of complex economic issues.